Good day everyone, we are the Group 5. So we tackle about technical analysis. So before we proceed, I just want to introduce our team. Queenie Capispisan, Jennifer Cayetano, Joanna Jaira Flores, Ira Dalayday. Hello guys, I'm Jennifer Cayetano. Today I explain some detail about this topic. The first slide is introduction. The share price movement is analyzed with two approaches. Una, fundamental approach at ang pangalawa ay technical approach. So, ibig sabihin ng fundamental approach, ito yung sinishare yung presyo sa economic, industry at saka company statistic. Ibig sabihin, kung mas mababa ang share kesa sa ibang bagay na halaga, binibili ito ng mga namumuhunan. Pero kung nabili nila ito ng mas mababa, pagdating sa kanilang paninda, ipagbibili naman nila ito ng mas mataas para may makuha silang tubo. Pangalawa naman, ang technical approach, ito naman yung pinag-aaralan yung galaw ng presyo ng stock ng security market o merkado ng seguridad. Karaniwan sa technical analysis at fundamental analysis, sila yung pangunahin na nagbibigay ng return on investment. Technical analysis and history. The technical analysis is based on the doctrine given by Charles H. Down in 1884 in the Wall Street Journal. Sumulat siya ng isang serye ng mga artikulo sa Wall Street Journal at si A.J. Nelson naman ay isang matalik na kaibigan ni Charles Down ay gumawa ng Down Theory para sa economic forecasting. Gumagamit ang mga analyst ng mga chart of individual stock and moving average in early 1920s. Later on, sa tulong ng calculator at computer, nauso ang mga techniques para mapadali yung proseso ng mga paggawa nito. And the technical analysis, it is process of identifying trend reversal at an early stage on formulate the buying and selling strategy. Kumbaga, nasuri nila ang pagitan ng price, dami ng supply at ang demand sa pangkalahatang market and the individual stock. Kung ang dami ng kita ay mataas, mas malaki ang bilang ng share na natitrade kesa sa dati. At sa pagbaba naman, ang bilang ng mga share na natitrade ay lumiliit kung ito ay mas kabaliktaran. Maari din ang pagbabago ng mga trend. Technical tools. Generally used technical tools are Down Theory, volume of trading, short selling, old lot trading, bars and line chart moving, average, and oscillators. In this section, some of the above mentioned tools are analyzed. Example, line chart. Line chart is one of the simplest form of price chart used in technical analysis. It plot a single line connecting closing prices over a specific time period. The chart helps traders identify overall trends without distracting from intraday price in fluctuations. So next is Down Theory. Dow Jones theory explains market movement by dividing trends into primary, intermediate, and short-term trends. So the first is the primary trends. So yung primary trends, ito yung solong individual o mamimili ang nakaka-impluwensya sa pangunahing takbo ng merkado. Pero isa siya sa individual na namumuhunan ay maaaring makaapekto rin siya sa pang-araw-araw na panggalaw ng presyo o pamamagitan ng pagbili o pagbebenta ng malaking halaga. Pangalawa ay intermediate trend. So, dito naman ay yung paggalaw ng presyo ay maaari ding makaapekto siya sa isang mas mababang antas ng isang namumuhunan. So, the last is short-term trends. Ito naman yung uri ng kasangkapan or way para matalo ang isang market. Ang trend na to ay tumutukoy sa araw-araw na paggalaw ng presyo. Kilala din ito bilang oscillator o pagbabago-bago. Ito yung tatlong uri ng trends ay maaaring may hambing siya sa tide waves or alon ng dagat. Next is trend. Yung trend is isang direction of movement, kumbaga yung paggalaw. Kung makikita nyo sa chart, ito yung mga presyo ng bahagi ay maaaring tumaas o bumaba o manatiling patag. Yung tatlong direction ng paggalaw ng price ay bahagi na tinatawag na tumataas, bumababa at ang plant trend. Dun sa point ay ang mga price ng bahagi ay hindi tumataas o bumababa sa isang tuwid na linya. Bawat pagtaas nito o pagbaba ng presyo ay nakakaranas ng counter move. Kung tumataas yung presyo ng pagbabahagi, ang counter move ay magiging isang pagbaba ng presyo o vice versa. Ang mga presyo ng bahagi ay gumagalaw ng paraan ng zigzag. Ang mga linya ng trends ay mga tuwid na linya na iginuhit na nagkokonekta sa alinman na tutok o ibaba. So, yun yung trend na makikita ay yung chart na makikita sa description. Trend reversal. The race of fall in share price cannot go on forever. The share price movement may reverse its direction. Before the change of direction, certain patterns in price movement emerge. So, when the price of an asset changes direction, shifting from an uptrend to a downtrend or vice versa. Price action pattern. Look for reversal chart pattern like head and shoulder or double top bottoms. Trend line breaks. If a long-term trend line is broken, it may signal a reversal. Next is primary trend. The security price trend may be either increasing or decreasing. When the market exhibits the increasing trend, it is called bull market. The bull market shows three clear-cut peaks. Each peak is higher than the previous peak, and the bottom are also higher than the previous bottoms. The reaction following the peaks used to halt before the previous bottom. The places leading to the three peaks are revival, improvement in corporate profit, and speculation. The revival period encouraged more and more investors to buy script their expectation about the future being high. In the second phase, increased profit to corporate would result in further price rise. Next is the secondary trend. A secondary trend is a medium-term price movement that moves against the primary trend. It typically lasts from a few weeks to a few months and represent correction or replacement within a large trend. Example, in long-term bull market uptrend, the secondary trend may be a temporary price decline correction, whereas in long-term bear market or downtrend, the secondary trend be a short-term, rarely price increase. Next is minor trend. Minor trend is a long-term price movement that lasts from a few days to a few weeks. It's occurred within the secondary trend and if often influenced by the daily market fluctuations, new events, and investor sentiment. Minor trends do not define the overall market distribution but contribute to price and provide trading opportunities. For example, in long-term bull market, minor trends may include small pullbacks or rallies lasting for a few days. In a bear market, minor trends may appear as temporary upward price movements before the border downtrend resumes. Next is support and resistance level. A support level exists at a price where considerable demand for the stock is expected to prevent further fall in the price level. Support and resistance usually occur whenever the turnover of a large number of short lengths to be considered as several price level. When the stock touches a certain level and then drops, this is called resistance. And if the stock reaches down to certain level and then raises, there exists a support, the level can switch from one to another. Next is indicator. Technical indicators are used to find out the direction of the overall market. The overall market movements affect the individual share price. Aggregate forecasting is considered to be more reliable than the individual forecasting. The indicators are price and volume of trade. The volume of trade is influenced by the behavior or price. Indicators are mathematical calculations based on an asset price, volume, or open interest used by the traders to analyze price trend and make trading decisions. This indicator helps identify the potential entry and exit point by providing signal about momentum, volatility, trend direction, and market strength. Next, volume of trade. Down give special emphasis on volume. Volume expand along with the bull market and narrow down in the bear market. If the volume falls with a rise in price, or vice versa, is a matter of concern for the investor and the trend may not persist for a long time.
So good day everyone, my name is Joanna Jaira Flores and I'm here to tackle about the breadth of the market and other subtopics. So first is, what is the breadth of the market? It is an indicator used in the stock market to measure how widespread a market movement is. It helps determine whether a market trend is supported by a broad number of stocks or if only a few stocks are driving the market index. It is the net difference between the number of stocks advanced and declined during the same period. This helps investors assess the overall market strength or weaknesses. If advances exceed declines, it suggests a strong or bullish market indicating broad participation in the uptrend. However, if declines outnumber advances, it signals market weakness or bearish sentiment, meaning more stocks are losing value. Halimbawa, mayroong 10 stocks sa market, 7 stocks ang tumaas ang presyo and 3 naman yung bumaba ang presyo. So ano ang ibig sabihin nito? Ang market breadth ay malakas kasi karamihan ng stocks or 7 out of 10 ay tumataas. Ibig sabihin, maganda ang kalagayan ng buong market at malawak ang pagtaas ng presyo. On the other hand, ang parehong 10 stocks ay tinatrack pa rin. So ngayon, yung 3 stocks yung tumaas ang presyo and yung 7 stocks naman yung bumaba ang presyo. Ano ibig sabihin nito? Ang market breadth ay mahina kasi maraming stocks ang bumababa kaysa tumataas. So, ibig sabihin, negative ang kalagayan ng buong market kahit na may ilang stocks na tumaas pa. So, by dividing the advances by the declines, Harvey Crow creates a ratio that gives a sense of whether there is more upward movement or advances or downward movement or declines in the market or security. So, meaning po, higher ratio than 1, more stocks are rising than falling, indicating bullish or positive market sentiment. On the other hand, lower than 0.99, more stocks are falling than rising, indicating bearish or negative market sentiment. Next is short sales. It is when investors called bears sell stocks they don't own, betting that the price will go down in the future. The goal is to buy back the stock at a lower price to make a profit. Here's how short selling works as an indicator. Short interest This is the total number of shares that have been sold short but not yet bought back. The short sales ratio compares the short sales of a given month with the average daily trading volume of the previous month. This ratio helps assess market conditions. Ratio less than 1 indicates a weak or overbought market, suggesting prices might decline. Next is ratio between 1 and 0.5. It indicates a neutral market, no clear trend. And next is ratio above 1, suggests a bullish market with prices likely rising. And ratio above 2 indicates the market is oversold and prices could rebound. So in general, high short selling happens when markets are at their peak or top, and low short selling happens at market lows or bottoms. Next is odd lot trading. Normally, stocks are bought and sold in groups of 100 shares, but when fewer than 100 shares are bought or sold, it's called an odd lot. And people who buy or sell stocks in odd lots are called odd lotters. The ratio of odd lot purchases to odd lot sales is called the odd lot index. And it says that if more odd lots are purchased and sold, the index goes up. And if more odd lots are sold than purchased, the index goes down. And how does it work? It's believed that professional investors who trade in larger quantities are better informed and more knowledgeable than odd lotters. So, when professionals are leading the market is considered strong. And if odd lotters dominate, the market is seen as weak because they are often less experienced and more likely to buy high and sell low. Now we have this notion in odd lot that high odd lot purchases often happens at the top of the market when prices are high, suggesting a price drop may follow. And low odd lot purchases, this usually happens at the bottom of a bear market when prices are low, and it suggests that the market might be ready to rise again. However, contrary to that notion, in October 1987, before the 1987 stock market crash, odd lotters were selling more shares than they were buying, even when prices were rising, which was unusual. And after the crash, odd lotters started buying a lot when prices were low, which was a rational decision, defying the usual odd lot theory. Now, while the odd lot theory or notion suggests odd lotters typically make bad decisions when buying at the peak and selling at the bottom, real market behavior doesn't always follow this pattern. In some cases, odd lotters can make smart decisions as shown in the 1987 market crash. Stock prices and market indices don't rise or fall in a straight line. They often go up and down, creating a lot of fluctuations. To better understand the overall direction or trend of the market or stock, we use a moving average. What is a moving average? A moving average is a way to smooth out these ups and downs to get a clearer picture of the trend. It is calculated by averaging the stock's closing prices over a set of period of time. For example, a 5-day moving average looks at the closing prices of the last 5 days. On the 6th day, the average moves forward by adding the new day's closing price and removing the oldest day's price. This process keeps the data up to date. So the moving average helps show the underlying trend of the market or stock. The period you choose for the moving average helps identify different time frames of trends. So for the short-term trends, the stock's movement over the past 10 to 30 days. The medium-term trends, the stock's movement over the 50 to 125 days, and the long-term trends, the stock's movement over the past 200 days. So moving averages help filter out daily price fluctuations and give a clearer view of the stock's or market's overall direction over time. And when analyzing a stock, we compare its price and with the overall stock market index like NSE, BSE, Sensex, or Nifty. A moving average helps smooth out price fluctuations and shows the general trend of a stock over time. So we have two key points, comparing stock price and index, and the second one is buy and sell signals. So the first one is, if the stock's price is above the market index, it means the stock is doing better than the overall market. This indicates a bullish trend or prices may go up. And if the stock's price is below the market index, the stock is underperforming, and this suggests a bearish trend or prices may go down. Second point is the buy and sell signals. If the stock's moving average crosses below the market index, it signals a selling opportunity, which means the stock may drop further. And if the stock's moving average moves above the market index, it signals a buying opportunity, which means the stock is gaining strength and may rise. So why is this important? This strategy helps traders decide when to buy or sell stocks based on the market trends, making investment decisions more informed and strategic. The graphs illustrate how moving averages help identify buy and sell signals based on stock price movements. The first graph, which signals buy, the stock price is moving below the moving average at first, and at a certain point, the stock price crosses above the moving average, and this signals that the price might continue to rise, so it's a good time to buy. The second graph, sell signal, the stock price is moving above the moving average initially, and eventually, the stock price crosses below the moving average, and this signals that the price might continue to fall, so it's a good time to sell. Now, let's have a look at the comparison of the two moving averages. So, kapag ang short-term moving average ay tumawid pababa sa long-term moving average, this indicates a sell signal. Ibig sabihin, the prices of stocks may started to fall, kaya magandang ibenta na ito bago pa lalong bumaba ang halaga. So, for example, kung bumili ka ng stock sa halagang 50 pesos per share at nakikita mong may sell signal, maaari mong ibenta ito sa 55 per share para kumita, kaysa hintayin itong bumaba muli sa 40 pesos per share at malugi. Sa kabilang banda naman, kapag ang short-term moving average ay tumawid sa itaas ng long-term average, ito ay isang indikasyon ng buy signal, which means maaaring magsimulang tumaas ang presyo ng stock at karaniwang ginagawa ng mga investors ay bumibili ng mga stocks. Now, let's talk about oscillators. These are tools used in technical analysis to measure the momentum of a stock or the overall market. They help traders understand whether a stock is overbought or oversold, which can signal a possible trend reversal. Oscillators are used alongside price charts to identify possible trend reversals in the market. However, these signals must be confirmed by actual price movements before making buy or sell decisions. For accurate trading signals, price changes should match momentum changes before taking action. And daily oscillators are useful for short-term trading, while weekly or monthly oscillators help in long-term analysis. So one of its examples is the Relative Strength Index or RSI, which was developed by Wells Wilder, used in technical analysis to measure how strong or weak a stock or market based on its recent price movement. So the image shows a calculation of the Relative Strength Index using the formula RSI is equal to 100 minus 100 over 1 plus the average gain over average loss. So to get the ratio, kailangan muna natin i-total lahat ng gains, which is 52, and divide natin sa number of days, which is 9, and it's equal to 5.78. Gayun din sa loss, get the total, which is 6, and divided by 9 is equal to 0.67. So, yung parang total, i-divide natin yung gain sa loss. So, 5.78 divided by 0.67 is equals to 8.627. So, 100 minus 100 over 1 plus the ratio 8.627 is equal to 100 minus 100 over 9.627. RSI is equal to 100 minus 10.37, and yung pinaka-total niya is 89.613. So, therefore, the computed RSI value is 89.613. So, for the interpretation, since it's above 70, it means that it is overbought or the price may fall soon. Next is the rate of change or ROC. It is a tool that helps traders see how fast the stock's price is moving up or down over time. It tells us how much the price has changed in a certain number of days, weeks, or months. If a stock is overbought or oversold, which can signal a possible price reversal, and it tells us if the trend is strong or weak, it helping traders decide when to buy or sell. Now, here's the procedure on how to calculate the rate of change using two methods. There are two ways to calculate ROC. Let's use an example where the current price of AB company is 12 and the price 12 days ago is 10. So in method 1, expressing as a percentage of the past price, here we compare the current price as a percentage of the past price. For example, ROC is 12 over 10 times 100 is equal to 120%. Now, this tells us that today's price is 120% of the past price. For the second method, we find the actual percentage increase or decrease. So, ROC is equal to 12 over 10 times 100 minus 100. So, the ROC is equal to 120% minus 100% is equal to 20%. So this means the price increased by 20% over 12 days. If the result was negative, it would mean the price had dropped instead. So the key difference between the two methods is method 1 tells us the current price as a percentage of the past price, which is 120% of the past price, and the method 2 gives us the actual percentage change in price, which is 20% increase. Now here's the table that shows the calculation of the 7-day rate of change for ACC, presumably a stock or asset. And the same formula were used for the two methods. The table lists the price of ACC for each day from August 20, 1999 to September 8, 1999. For each day after August 28, this 7-day ROC is calculated using both methods, and the results are expressed as percentages. The negative values in the ROC second column indicate a decrease in price compared to 7 days prior. So the rate of change helps traders decide when to buy or sell by identifying overbought and oversold regions. So if ROC is very high, the stock is overbought and this signals sell before the price drops. However, if ROC is very low, the stock is oversold and it signals buy before the price rises. So by tracking past ROC highs and lows, investors can predict price movements and make smarter buy and sell decisions. Now let's talk about charts. Charts are powerful and easy to use tools for analyzing stock prices. They visually show price movements, making it easier for investors to spot trends. Why are charts useful? First, they identify trends, which helps decide when to buy or sell. Second, predict future movements that gives clues about where the market might go next. Third is show past price movements, which helps understand how the stock has behaved before. The last is it highlights support and resistance levels, which shows where the price may stop falling or stop rising. Do charts always work? It says that charts don't lie, but different analysts may interpret them differently based on their skills and experience. So for the expert like James Dines, he compared charts to fire or electricity, which he says that they can be powerful tools if used wisely, but dangerous for beginners. Now, for the last part, what is P and F chart? A point and figure chart is a type of stock chart that shows only price movements, ignoring time and volume. It helps traders spot trends and reversals easily. So how it works? Now X is for rising prices, indicating when stock price increases, and O is for falling prices when stock price decreases. And we put new column for trend reversals, which means when price moves in the opposite direction. For example, if a stock starts at 53, we put X in the column as it moves up. Example, 55, 57, and so on. If the price drops by 2 points, we switch to a new column and start using O to show the decline. And this pattern helps traders to see when the trend is changing and predict price movements. So as long as the price moves between points A and B, there is a little indication of price rise.
Good day everyone, I am Ira Hernandez Dalayday, and let's proceed and discuss the continuation of our presentation. Bar charts are fundamental tools for technical analysis. Nagpo-provide po ito ng clear visual presentation of stocks price movements over a specific period, such as days, weeks, or months. With this po, inaalaw po nito yung mga traders to analyze the trends over different durations. Each bar po on the chart consists of 3 key components. Yung highest price po na na-reach, yung lower price, at yung closing price for that time frame. Yung highest price po is marked with a dot at the top of the bar, while yung lower price po is indicated at the bottom, at yung 2 dots naman po na magka-connect, which is yung horizontal line on each bar, represent as final price na kung saan yung stocks po is closed for that time frame. Additional information na rin po, yung higher bars po here sa bar charts suggest more trading activity, while yung shorter bars naman po is indicated po rito yung lower trading activity. With this structure po, yung bar charts is nagbibigay ng clear view ng pagbabago sa price. It's not also simplifies price tracking, but also ina-assist po nito yung analyst in making prediction about future price movements. Na-mention rin po rito yung line charts na ginagamit rin po sa pag-indicate ng price movements, at simplification raw po ito ni bar chart sa pamagitan raw po ng pag-connect ng closing prices over time na siyang nagre-resulta ng mas malinaw na paglalarawan ng overall trends. So, yung purpose po ng chart na ito is to help investors or traders to make informed decisions based on historical price movements and trends. Next is chart patterns are also important tools po in technical analysis, as they help investors to identify po yung mga trends and make predictions about the future price movements. So, these patterns emerge po from the historical price data sa mga charts, revealing recognizable formations that can signal potential market behavior. So, one common pattern is yung V formation. It's characterized by a rapid decline followed by equally swift recovery. So, it's often happen po in popular stocks kung saan nagre-reflect po ito ng mabilisan and shifts into market sentiment from fear to hope and vice versa. So, for example po, kung yung stock po natin na $100 is nag-drop sharply to $70 and then quickly rebounds po to $95, it forms B-shape po on the chart. Why? Kasi po, mabilis na nagbago yung stocks na bumagsak hanggang gradually tumaas po bigla. Nagkaroon po ng recovery sa nangyari. So, kabaliktaran naman po nito yung A pattern, which is naka-indicate po rito yung initial na tinaas or yung initial na rise bago po mag-decline yung stocks. Next is in other variation naman po, such as B patterns, nag-exhibit po ito ng mas mabagal na price movements over a wider range. So, chart patterns serve as valuable tools for forecasting market movements and enhancing their trading success. Yung primary purpose po nito is to recognizing these patterns to supplement other analytical tools such as trend lines, providing traders with confirmation signals to make smart decisions. Next is top and bottoms. So, in stock price charts po, ito po yung critical concept for investors. So, as these points often signify the beginning or end of market trends. Yung tinatawag na top is ini-indicate po nito na ito po yung peak price, suggesting na ito yung time para magbenta na. While yung bottom is nagre-represent po ito ng low point. So, nagsisignal po ito ng may potential na buying opportunity. So, by observing this formation closely is important po because as they can provide valuable insights into market behavior. However, the most important aspect lies not just in recognizing these points but to understand the price movements leading to them. For example po, if yung stock price po peaks at $120 and then starts to decline, this top formation alerts traders to consider selling. So, if yung stocks naman po hits low at $80 and begins to rise, ito po yung tinatawag na bottom formation where it suggests na may potential buying opportunity. So, by analyzing yung transitions between top and bottom formations, traders can capitalize on market trends. Ma-improve po nila yung chances of profit nila while maximizing risk. Kagaya nga po na sabi ko kanina, ito po ay isang critical na konsepto para sa mga investors or traders. It's actually shaping us po in trading strategies and enhancing our market understanding. Double top and double bottom patterns. Ito po yung significant formation in a stock price charts na nagsisignal na may potential trend reversal. So, let's talk about both double top patterns. So, nangyayari po ito kapag yung stock price po is na-reach yung pinaka-peak, yung pinakamataas na presyo is naabot nito, then bigla pong bumagsak. And then biglang umangat po uli in the same or high level only to decline again. So, this pattern po resembling the letter M and it often indicates that the stock may enter a bear market. So, what is the meaning of bear market? So, yung bear market po is yung patuloy na pagbaba o pagbagsak ng presyo ng pamumuhunan. Ipinapahiwatig po nito ng yung index ng merkado ay babagsak ng 20% or higit pa mula sa kamakailang mataas na porsyento nito na nag-curve sa chart ng letter M which is indicate na may downturn sa stock prices. For example, in a tech stock po, reaches $100, then bigla po itong bumagsak ng $80, then bigla po ito umangat uli ng $100, same height, then bigla pong bumagsak uli ng $75. So, this indicate po na nagkaroon po ng double top situation in chart kung saan nag-curve po ito ng letter M, same high level in the chart, arises in stock prices which is $100, suggesting na dapat yung traders ay mag-sell na po agad ng stocks before po dumating yung biglaang pagbagsak ng presyo. Next po is double bottom pattern. So, nangyayari po ito when a stock price drop to low, then bigla pong umangat ulit and drop po ulit for the second time in the same lower level. Katulad po nung bumagsak nung una, then umangat po ulit which is nag-curve ng W shape po sa chart. And it's view as bull market. Ito po yung kabaliktaran ng bear market which is may potential na umangat po ulit yung stocks prices unlike bear market na biglang bumabagsak. So for example, kung yung stock prices po is bumagsak bigla ng $70, then biglang nag-bounce back to $80, then drops again in the same low level na $70, then arises to $85 again, which is indicated na may nangyayaring double bottom pattern in chart and it's a sign po na mayroong buying opportunity. Next is head and shoulders patterns. So, ito po yung another widely recognized formation that indicates potential trends reversals. This pattern po is nagkukonsist ng 3 peaks, yung left shoulder, yung head, at yung right shoulder. Yung form po ng left shoulder is when prices rise. Bigla pong umangat and then bigla pong lumubog ulit. Followed by higher peak, which is yung head po at isa pang lumubog, which leads to the right shoulder. Yung neckline po is kumukonek sa lower points, dips. So, when the stock price breaks below this neckline, it signals that start of bear market, suggesting a downward trends in price. Yung reliability po ng pattern na ito makes it as valuable tools for traders. kasi po inilarawan po nito yung struggle between buyers and sellers as the initial uptrends attracts buying interest, which eventually wanes, leading to selling pressures. Imagine po yung stock prices, umakyat po siya ng $120, which is called as left shoulders, umangat pa po siya to $140, which is yung head po. Then, tumaas muli ng $120, which is the right shoulder. So, if yung price po is bumaba below the neckline at $110, maaari pong magsenyales ng pagbabago patungo sa isang bear market na siyang mag-uudyok sa mga mangangalakal na magbenta na. So, this formation in the chart helps investors to recognize the potential market shifts and enabling them to react appropriately to changing market conditions. Next is inverted head and shoulders patterns. So, ito po yung opposite ng standard head and shoulders formations or patterns. Kung yung head and shoulder pattern po, ito po yung kinoconsider as one of the most reliable trend reversal patterns dahil yung chart formation po nito is pinipredict po yung bullish to bearish trends reversals. Samantalang itong inverted head and shoulders pattern, pinipredict po nito yung bearish to bullish trends. In this formation po, yung stock prices po is nakakaranas ng pagbaba na sinusundan po ng pagtaas, which is leading to formation of inverted right shoulder. So this process po continues with a further dip ng head and pagtaas o pag-angat ulit to create the left shoulder. So yung neckline po is nakakonect sa fix of this formation. When the stock price po arises above this neckline, it signals the end of bear market and the starts of bull market, indicating na may potential na pagtaas sa trend prices. Traders and investors often look for this pattern as a sign of bullish momentum because it's reflect po as a shift in a market sentiments as buyers gradually regain control after a period of decline. So, like other patterns na na-mention ko po, it is essential po to confirm this signal with volume and overall market trends to increase the reliability of the prediction. This is triangle pattern. So, ito po yung mga popular formation na ginagamit ng mga traders to predict future price movements in financial markets. So, it has main 4 types of triangles which are symmetrical, ascending, descending, and inverted triangle. So each of these type has a unique characteristics, insights into market trends, and potential future price movements. Now let's proceed to the first type of triangle, which is symmetrical triangle chart. So this pattern represents po as a period of consolidation before the price is forced to break out or break down. In this pattern po, the heights are getting lower while the lows are getting higher, creating two slanting trending lines that converge. It's considered to be neutral pattern dahil it doesn't indicate po whether the price will go up or go down once the triangle is completed. So instead, it signifies a period of indecision in the market. Traders often anticipate na yung price will break out in the direction of the prior trend after the triangle completes. So, for example, if yung stocks po has been uptrend before forming a symmetrical triangle, so mayroon pa pong chance na makontinue po na tumaas after magkaroon ng breakout upwards. Next is ascending triangle. Ito naman po is characterized by a flat upper trend line and rising lower trend lines, which is connects increasingly higher lows. So this pattern is typically suggests that buyers are gaining strength, pushing prices up, while sellers are unable to push prices above the horizontal line. So when the price breaks above the upper trend line, it often leads to bullish trend. So for example, if a company like XYZ Corporation is naka-experience ng ascending triangle during upward price movements, the breakout above the resistance lines could indicate po na may strong signal for potential buying opportunities. Meaning to say po, yung ascending triangles ay tinatawag na bullish formation na nag-anticipates ng upside breakout. Next is descending triangle. So, Ito po ay generally considered as bearish pattern na nag-anticipate po siya ng downside breakout. It consists of falling upper trend line formed by connecting the lower heights. Malapit po ito sa horizontal lower trend line na nakakonect po sa mga bottoms. So, this pattern often seen during downtrend. In-indicate po nito na yung sellers are gaining strength over buyers. Yung lower trend naman po acts as a support level at yung breakout naman po below are usually signals po as a continuation of the downward trend. So, for example po is if a company like ABC Inc. Corporation is nag-form po ng descending triangle during po ng downtrend, yung breakout below po is support level and would likely signal as a continued decline in price. Na siya nag-uudyok sa mga traders to consider short position as the market may be favoring a bear operation dahil mas more powerful po ito kaysa sa bull operations. Next is flag. So, flag patterns are commonly observed on price charts that indicate potential market movements. They typically form during periods of short-term price corrections following significant upward or downward trends. So, flag patterns po ay mayroon po siyang distinct shape na nahahawig po sa parallelogram na can be classified into two types, which are bullish flag and bearish flag. So, yung bullish flag patterns po is kahawig po siya ng parallelogram and characterized by two downward sloping trend lines, pababa pong linya, which is suggests po na may potential na umangat yung stock price and traders look for a breakout above a upper trend line to confirm this as bullish sentiments. While yung bearish flag patterns naman po has two upwards, pataas naman po yung sloping trend lines. If yung breakout po ay mangyari, yung price will decrease below the lower trend line na ini-indicate po na continuation yung downward trend na nangyayari. Next is pennant. Pennant patterns are another significant pattern found in price charts. Nahawig po ito sa symmetrical triangles similar to flag patterns and can also classified into bullish and bearish pennants. So, bullish pennants, nangyayari po siya after a strong upward price movement where the price experiences consolidation. So, this forms when the price makes lower high and higher lows, resulting in covering trend lines. This indicates po na pause in upward trend and breakout above the upper trend line, signals the continuation of the bullish trends. On the other hand naman po, yung bearish pennant, nangyari po siya after a strong downward price movements with the upper trend line sloping downward and lower trend line rising. Parang lower high and higher lows lang po yung pag pinaigsi. Yung breakout po nito is below the lower trend line. Kanina kay bullish is pa-upward yung trend line breakout niya. Si bearish naman po is pa-lower, which is indication ng continuation of downward trends. Now, let's proceed to technical analysis and fundamental analysis. So, fundamental analysis, ito po yung method na ginagamit ng mga investors to evaluate yung stock's true value. Analysts look at the factors like sales growth, earnings, profitability, at yung company's financial strength. They also consider yung mga broader economic and industry trends. By examining these factors, they aim to determine the intrinsic value of stocks. So, ano naman itong intrinsic values of stocks? Mini-measure po nito yung company shares price worth based po sa objective fundamental factors like cash flow po, assets, and earnings rather than market sentiments. So, if yung stock po is undervalued, bibilhin po nila ito at expected na rin po natataas po ang presyo nito sa paglipas ng panahon. So, this approach po is typically focused on a long-term investment as it relies on the company's overall performance and market conditions. On the other hand, technical analysis naman po is a strategy that prioritize historical price movements and trading volumes to predict future stocks price trends. Obviously, naniniwala po ito na yung nakaraan or past price behavior is naka-indicate how the stock will move in the short term. Unlike fundamental po, hindi sila nakafocus sa company's financials but rather on the charts and patterns sa mga trading activity. Yung goal po nito is to identify po yung buying and selling opportunities based po sa mga price trends na madalas po nagli-lead into more active trading approach. So, primary focus nito is they are more on pagkakapitalize po on short-term market opportunities based sa price and sa volume trends. Next is the comparison of these both approaches. So, both fundamental and technical analysis are essentials and important methods in stock market dahil pareho po sila nag-o-offer ng unique insights, yet nagdi-differ po sila significantly in focus and strategy. So, yung fundamental analysis po believe that stock prices are influenced by underlying economic factors affecting companies' performance and long-term value, while technical analysis concentrates sa price trends and trading volumes to make short-term predictions. So, both approaches po acknowledge that supply and demand are important po to determine stock prices, but they interpret and utilize differently. Last is the efficient market theory. So, efficient market theory, also known as efficient market hypothesis or EMH, ito po yung financial theory na nagsasuggest that assets prices reflect all available information at any given time. According to this theory, it is impossible to consistently achieve higher returns than the overall market through stock selection or market timing because any new information po that could affect a stock value is quickly and accurately incorporated into the stock price. For example po, kung yung tech company po is nag-announce ng isang pambihirang produkto, yung stock po is mabilis na ma-incorporate yung news, leaving this opportunity for investors to capitalize on it before po ma-adjust yung price. And EMT or efficient market theory implies po na yung active trading strategies are unlikely to outperform yung mga passive investing approaches over the long term. So that's for my report. Now let's proceed to Ms. Kapispisan.
Good day everyone, I'm Queenie Kapispisan and I will discuss the efficient market theory. First, stock prices change based on various factors like company performance, industry trends, and overall economic condition. Investors use fundamental analysis, studying financial health and market position, and technical analysis, studying past price movements to predict stock prices. And example, if a company reports high profits, its stock price may rise because investors see it as a good investment. So next, random walk theory. This theory suggests that stock prices move unpredictably because all available information is instantly reflected in the price. This means past trends cannot reliably predict future prices. Example, if a company announces a breakthrough product, its stock price may rise immediately. However, future movements remain unpredictable as new information can change the situation at any time. Next, efficient market hypothesis. So, the efficient market hypothesis suggests that stock prices always reflect all available information, meaning investors can consistently beat the market by predicting price movements. Prices adjust quickly when new information is released. Example, if Google announces a major AI breakthrough, its stock price will instantly adjust as investors react. Since everyone has the same information, it's hard to gain an advantage. So next, form of market efficiency. Um, Stock prices only reflect past price movements. Technical analysis, studying charts, won't help predict future prices. Example, looking at Tesla's past stock prices won't help predict future prices because new information constantly change the market. So, empirical test of weak form efficiency. This tests whether stock prices truly move randomly and not influenced by past trends. So next, serial correlation test. This test checks if past stock price changes are related to future price change. If there's little correlation, it supports the weak form of EMH, proving that stock price move randomly. Example, if we analyze Apple's stock price over a month and find no consistent pattern, it means price movements are random and past data doesn't help predict future changes. Next, run test. This check if stock price changes are random by looking only at the direction of change, not the amount. Example, imagine flipping a coin. If stock prices move randomly, their ups and down should not form predictable patterns, just like coin flips. Next, filter tests. This tests whether mechanical trading strategies, fixed rules for buying, selling work, assuming stock prices move randomly. Example, if stock prices were truly random following fixed trading rules, by when price rises 5%, wouldn't consistently make profits. And lastly, distribution pattern. It is a rule of statistics that the distribution of random occurrences will conform to a normal distribution. Then, if price changes are random, their distribution should be approximately normal. Therefore, the distribution of price changes can be studied to test the randomness or otherwise of stock price movement. So next, EMH versus fundamental and technical analysis. There are three broad theories concerning stock price movements. These are the fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and efficient market hypothesis. Fundamental analysis believe that by analyzing key economic and financial variables, they can estimate the intrinsic worth of a security and then determine what investment action to take.